Now, our card on the bottom of the deck is the Moon card in reverse, which has to do with clarity. Clarity. Something that had been hidden from you, some information, something going on with that was sort of hidden from you, not very clear. Could have been you were feeling the effects of the full moon. We've also had some Venus retrograde going on. There's been a lot of energy that has had people in a reflective space. You could be dealing with mental illness issues in your friends or family. Anything like that. But in the reverse, it is about coming out of that energy. So that's on a positive note. Right here we have the contradiction between the domesticated dog and the wild werewolf. And if you kind of think about that, the word lunatic being related to the word luna, which means moon, right? But this is the opposite of that. This is that clarity, understanding the clouds part, you know what's going on now. So that's a good thing, right? I like to tell people that I can handle anything so long as it's true. And for a lot of you Aries, you're very, very direct people. And you kind of, you can deal with anything, again, so long as it's true, right? Now, here we have the Nine of Pumpkins. And this is about a person who's standing in her lush garden. This is the entrepreneurial spirit embodied right here in this card. This is a person who started his or her own business. This is someone who's enjoying success and prosperity. Now, this is in the recent past, and this is something that you were aiming for. So this is a goal, perhaps, that you've recently had in the past. Now, in your present tense, this card here, the Two of Pumpkins, indicates some sense of juggling, right? Juggling. But successfully, though. You'll notice the smile on the face. The cat's kind of looking at this juggler like, I don't know how you're doing it, how you're keeping all those balls in the air, or pumpkins in the air, but somehow you're managing it. Both of these are earth suits, the pumpkin cards right here, which indicates that this has to do with material matters. Right? This has to do with money, business, your job, your vocation, your career, anything that you may have been trying to do. So this is sort of what you're trying to do, because as you are taking steps to become the Nine of Pumpkins, you certainly know that you need to put in the effort for the Two of Pumpkins. Now here we see the Six of Pumpkins, but in the reverse. In the upright, it's a trick-or-treater, two trick-or-treaters, and they're being given candy at Halloween. There's a reciprocity energy here. There's kind of a balance, a give and take kind of balance, right? She gives them candy so they don't egg or toilet paper her house. In another kind of a sense, you think about it, when people are generous to you, you tend to do something nice for them. Right? Again, that give and take, ebb and flow, money as energy, right? In the reverse, though, this can indicate that maybe you're feeling like you're doing too much. You're giving too much, and too many people are drawing at your well. So this can be about finding a balance in your relationships, needing to find that balance, even as you're striving for your success in your business. But then we also see that something that's been going on is some sense of a loss or disappointment about something. There is part of the basis of your matter that you've been going through here is that there's this pail of water that's been spilled over. Now, behind the pumpkin who's focused on the spilled out water is another pail, and presumably that's full of water as well. But the focus is on the loss or the lack. So it could be that you're feeling some level of disappointment because you're giving too much. There's too much that's a loss to you as you're pulling somebody else's freight, perhaps, with this. All the while you're trying to get your business up and running, but you're a practical person and you're feeling how this is affecting your business and your ability to get that up and running. So here in the center of the deck, we have the Knight of Ghosts in the reverse. In the upright, the Knight of Ghosts is somebody who's bringing a loving message. This could be true love coming in. This could be, take it as it resonates for you because this is a general reading. But in the reverse, it could be that you're having some kind of energy, either with a water sign like a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. Maybe they're not being very positive or very loving. Or maybe this message of something that you love coming in, some happiness or success. This, for some reason, I'm thinking about spirit, like, how our spirit guides and helpers, angels, work behind the scenes to line things up for us, things we don't even know about, to help orchestrate divine timing. And I think in this energy, it could be that that hasn't happened yet for you. Maybe you're not seeing the divine timing that's coming in here, and that could be some of the reason that you're feeling disappointed over here. But the good news is a lot of this disappointment is going to be in your past tense. Even as your mind is set on juggling your different energies, continuing to move forward, there is a sense of completion on some level. But the world is also, it's a symbolic rebirth. For some of you, it could be a literal birth. But this is about a completion of something. Maybe this offer of love did not come in for some of you single Aries people. If this did not come in and you've been trying to balance work and play, or maybe you're trying to make a decision between this person or that person, this Knight of Ghosts not coming in could be that indicates a completion for you. You're going to stop dating the person you're not that interested in. You're going to close a door on some situation. For those of you for whom business comes into play, it could be that you want to be staying in this energy of balance and getting things done, but without this divine intervention coming in, or without this help from somebody, or some kind of information or offering coming in, you're feeling that you need to close that down. For example, this could be somebody bringing startup money, but they didn't come with the money, and therefore, right? But ghosts is emotions and love, spirit. So, and looking at that, for some of you, it could be that you have some information that you need because somebody didn't make that love offer. So it's kind of like you're moving on. And that can relate with, really any of that, but take it as it resonates. Because again, there is that sense of business in some of these other cards with the pumpkins coming out at the beginning. Then again, when we think about families, family can be about health. That can be about your brick and mortar house, the physical structure that you live in. That can be about your physical bodies, sex, that kind of relationship. You're hoping for victory, which this is not surprising, right? Because here we see you as somebody who wants to be successful in their business or their enterprise. Someone who understands that there's going to be a lot of work and believes that he or she can be successful in that. The Six of Imps is the victory, and that's what you're hoping for. This is a progression of mind. The left, the Nine of Pumpkins in the past, the Two of Pumpkins in the present, and the Six of Imps in the future. But it's kind of a flow. So for some of you, you may still be in the Nine of Pumpkins, and some of you may already be in the Six of Imps energy. It just, again, take it as it resonates for you. But this is what you're hoping to do. You don't mind putting the work in because you're hoping that someday you're going to be living in the luxury in your garden, looking at the fruits of your labor, feeling that level of success. Now, we do have this passionate message that's coming in. So I'm questioning either the Knight of Imps, if this is a romantic suit for you. It could be that you didn't hear from the water sign you were interested in, but the Knight of Imps is all about you, the Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius person coming in. And that could be that victory in there, right? So it could be that you give up on a water sign for a fire sign. If it's business related, it could be that something else comes in, something that you do feel passionate about that you can put into play, but it's going to take a moment to get there. This Knight of Ghosts being that it's something that you love, but this is love here. The Ghost is love and the Imps is passion. So both of these can represent the same thing, more or less, but this is going to be coming in very fast once you get past this little delay period for your business relationship. Then again, for romantic relationship, this Knight of Imps is coming in hot and fast. This is a very passionate person who's going to tell you, this is how I feel about you, period, end of story. And then underneath this is the Ten of Pumpkins in reverse, which could be a delay to getting to your material success and well-being, which is a progression beyond the individual Nine of Pumpkins into the family-oriented Ten of Pumpkins. But in the reverse, it could be the delay of that. It could indicate maybe some financial issues or struggles. But there still is this kind of a focus on something that's coming. Now, when we take these cards here, we're looking at some kind of disappointment that has led you to kind of complete a certain cycle of your life in moving forward. And that could be a disappointment because the Knight of Ghosts did not make you a love offer, if this is romance. If it's business, it could be that whoever that was supposed to bring in some kind of an offer, like a business offer or a partnership of a sort, did not come in. And so you see yourself completing a certain cycle. But this Ten of Pumpkins is successful energy. However, in the reverse, it can indicate the delay in getting that. For some of you, it could indicate that you are financially struggling too as you're trying to get your business off the ground. Romantically, it's most likely a delay in getting the happy family life that you want. You know, the living together, marriage type relationship, that sort of thing going on. But, you know, it just kind of depends on what your personal circumstance is right now. Okay. Let me go ahead and pull a Sacred Traveler Oracle card. I'll show you the box because I know some of you are interested in these the cards that I'm working with. Beautiful deck. It was a gift from a friend of mine. So if you'll give me a moment to shuffle these up and get them good and ready. I do shuffle before I roll the camera, but because I think it's a nuisance to sit there and listen to somebody shuffle for 18 hours. And sometimes it takes a long time to really mix them up very well, where I feel that they're tapping in with the energy of the Aries Aries sign. Oh, and I did want to wind this back to the Moon card, too, before I go too far with that. The Moon in reverse. Again, there's some kind of a clarity, something that you now have knowledge about. The fact that this isn't coming in, but that this is going to help you in making your decision, whatever that decision is going to be. And we know you're trying to weigh these two ideas out because we see that indicated in the Two of Pumpkins over here. So this clarity that this card's been about. One other note, because we did have water element in here, is that this Moon card, we'll look at it up in the upright. You can see the crustacean here. That is indicative of the sign of Cancer, the crab. Cancer, the Moon is the planetary ruler of Cancer. However, the Moon card represents Pisces. So again, take it as it resonates. It could be, you know, this Pisces energy for you, right? So yeah, that may be something that you want to look at. You might be interested in Pisces reading too, especially if you're involved romantically with a female Pisces. So just so you're aware of that. Now, let's go ahead and shuffle the Sacred Traveler Oracle cards. Grounding. Go deep. Explore your roots. I'm really sorry if I'm huffing and puffing here. I'm feeling my asthma today. Take time to ground yourself in what is truly essential. Remember what's important in life and let go of everything else. Let go of the busyness and the frenetic pace of life. Be present in the moment. Release the flurry of worry about the future or the rehashing of the past. This is a time to engage and reflect. It might be worth taking a second look at something you previously passed over. Things may not always be as they seem. Look deeper into the situations and relationships in your life. Explore your roots. Something that seems closed may, in fact, be just ready to open. See, that reminds me of that Knight of Ghosts in reverse, moving into a Knight of Imps in the upright energy. Like it may just be a delay, not a no way. Right? If you go beneath the surface, you may find hidden gems of truth, light, or abundance. The Sacred Traveler wants you to know sometimes the voyage is fraught with the activity of so many places to go and things to do that personal energy gets scattered. It's during those times that the Sacred Traveler needs to ground their energy. Grounding can be simply a matter of leaning against a tree and imagining yourself reaching into the roots and up into the branches. This card can also mean you need to stand up for yourself. Don't back down. Stand up for those who can't protect themselves. Believe in yourself. Hold firm to what you know to be true. You're like the ancient oak, with its roots deep in the earth. You are noble, valiant, and strong. So much so. I'm actually picturing individual Aries that I am friends with in my mind and thinking about that energy that you guys have. You have a fiery, passionate, and an ability to make things happen and get things done. But you are passionate. So there is a sense with passionate people that oftentimes they get disappointed, discouraged, or frustrated. However, Aries likes to get right back into that game and they like to bring that energy. So don't hesitate. Take some time for you. Do your grounding, just like Spirit advised you to do. And then once you're feeling kind of right in your own feet again, charge forth and give it your next best effort.